Hey, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Mr. G.
And we are in our last few stages of converting this gas mower to electric. And whoa, look at this.
Yeah.
So this was the motor that we were testing out before, and now you have mounted it to the mower itself. Talk to me about what you did here.
Dude, this thing's good. So basically, I took the same mounting plate dimensions, and I cut that into a plate, and then I had to recess it so the blade would fit properly. There's a certain height to the blade. You always, when you're doing a conversion, you always go down to the stock settings. Wherever that blade was, that's where it goes. So I recessed it, made a ring, welded some tabs, and it bolts into exactly the stock deck. We didn't modify the deck at all.
All right, so let's take a look at the underside, the business end of this bad boy.
Yeah, you gotta see what's going on.
Yeah, how do we mount the blade?
Okay. All right, so let's look under the hood.
Whoa. So you can see that plate that you made there. That looks neat. And then, so then what's this? Didn't we have this guy? Why didn't we just throw this on there?
Yeah, so Jesse, what they do is they sell you this, right? This goes on the bottom of your typical engine. It's got a keyed shaft. And then what happens is you have to hook it up to your blade. And this is your typical setup. And then it would get the pressure plate and then screw the bolt in like this.
Okay.
Right? But the shaft that comes with this motor is a different size.
All right, can we see that?
Yeah, so this shaft is different. It's smaller. See here, look, it just doesn't fit, okay?
Okay.
So what I said to, I have a friend, Mark Balzarette, and what he did was I said, hey, I want this, and he made this.
Cool. And so this is gonna work, this will fit onto this shaft.
Yep.
So he had to know those dimensions.
Yes.
It comes in, fits on this shaft,
Yep.
and then the blade is gonna do the same thing that it does on the other one.
That's right.
Which is that it's gonna come in here.
Yeah.
Fit
These
right
have
over.
to be adjusted a little bit,
Yep.
but these are gonna get shaved down just a little bit, but it basically fits. We're almost done.
Yeah, and then it screws in using the same pressure plate as before.
Yeah, same pressure plate, just gonna be a little bit different. A bolt, I have to modify the bolt a little bit.
Okay.
And what's cool is that this was made on a lathe.
Here's our friend Mark making the coupler.
Okay, so Ron just dropped off an electric motor. This is it. It's got a about a 5/8 diameter shaft on the end with a D shape, which is just a shaft with a flat, and he's got a hole in the end, and this is going to be to electrify the lawnmower that he's working on. He also gave me the coupler, which is being used on the current motor. So in any case, we're going to try to reproduce this, except it's going to fit onto the end of the electric motor. Got myself a piece of steel. So it's a chunk of 3-inch 1018. It's not quite big enough to make the coupler. It's not quite the size. The coupler is about 3 3/8 of an inch. This isn't going to quite make it, but it'll come close enough. Hopefully there'll be enough material left to put some dowel pins in to reproduce those indexing pins, but we'll see what we can do. So I've got my piece of 1018 here, and I'm going to put it in the lathe. I'm just going to feed this by hand. The lathe work on the part is finished. I've got my nose diameter where I want it to be. I've got my hole prepared, 21-30 seconds for reaming to 17 millimeters. And then there's a through hole of 8.5 millimeters, which is a clearance hole for the bolt that's going to hold this part onto the motor shaft. The motor shaft's going in here, bolt will come through the back. But this section here is too thick. We need to turn this down. What I'm going to do is put this in the saw and cut this down thinner, and then face it, square it up, so I can put it on the drill press to prepare it for reaming. I can't ream in the lathe because the chuck that I have on the tailstock is too small, so it won't hold my reamer. We're going to ream it on the drill press. It should work out fine. I'd just rather do it on the lathe, but this will work out fine. That's it.
All right, well, let's get this all set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just checked out the bottom of the mower. We got everything ready to go with the blade. We took the blade off for safety.
Sure.
And now we need to connect our motor up to the battery. So yesterday we did some work. We got the battery all hooked up and we got it in this box.
This was really nice. Zach made this super nice box. He did this so quickly, I was impressed, I gotta tell you.
So we got a box, and what's the purpose of the box here?
Well, you don't want the battery to be unsafe, flopping around, so you want to contain it and then mount it.
Okay, so to mount it, we got these little L bracket clip things.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna basically stick these on right here with the bolts, point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hold the battery on just like this.
Right.
And then we just hook this up? Oh no, we got
we got our harness.
Anderson connector goes right to
Remember
right
we
to
made
there.
those?
Yep, and then this hooks right up to the motor.
This hooks up to there. These match up.
And then we've got
this goes to our battery right here.
Right, and then we have our switch that's gonna run the whole thing.
So then we actually Jesse, we gotta bring the switch up to the top.
Right.
Right.
And this will become our dead man switch.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so we got our battery mounted on here. We've got our motor mounted on here. Now we just need to connect the battery to the motor through a switch, and we have our wiring harness here.
Right. Okay, so switch goes way up here.
Yep.
Click, click, click. And then down here,
We've got
battery and motor. And
Is there an order to this?
Nope.
Okay, so that's connected.
Yep.
And then I'll get the motor connected up here. Nice. And so now it's hooked up and ready to roll.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? So here's the test.
Whoa. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see it.
So we're here at a lawn that actually has some grass, which we're going to cut with our electric lawnmower. Let's again just talk through all of its features. We got the battery pack here in a nice safe wooden case with some foam wrapped around it, so it's nice and vibrationally isolated. And then we've got the battery out. This is the motor in port here. They're going to plug together. Then this runs all the way up to the top here where we have our switch, and this is a nice kill switch. It's both a dead man switch and it acts as a motor brake, which electronically brakes the motor. And then over here we've got our amp and voltmeters, so that's going to allow us to see what kind of watts we're pulling while we're mowing the grass.
All you need is two parts of the equation. So if you know your volts and you know your amps, then you can times that to get your watts. But if you didn't have that, let's say your volts and your watts, you could divide them to get your amps. Jesse, the reason we want to know our watts is because then we can make an estimate of how long time to empty the battery will be. So let's say it's 500 watts and it's a 500 watt hour battery, then we have 1 hour of mowing.
But if it's 250 watts and we have a 500 watt hour battery, then it's 2 hours of mowing.
Exactly.
And that number is going to vary depending on what kind of conditions, what kind of grass we're cutting. The interesting thing here is that because this is going to be so much more efficient than the gas engine, normally when you're running a gas engine, 80% of it is going just to heat.
Right.
So, you know, the time is usually pretty constant because you are always throwing away energy at a pretty constant rate just by having the engine running. And so the load, that last 20%, it doesn't matter as much. So this is going to change the equation a lot more because it's so efficient.
Okay, I'm going to connect it up.
All right.
These are Anderson style connectors. Very nice for batteries. You just click.
All right.
Done.
So now we're not seeing anything here. As soon as I start up the motor, we're going to see how much it's drawing. Are we ready?
Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
It stopped.
On its own?
We blew the fuse.
Yeah.
All right, so on our first test, we blew our 15 amp fuse, which we have in line with the battery. So why did we blow the fuse?
Okay, so I think what happened was in the startup, and because we were in the taller grass, we didn't cut anything yet, the two combined did a amp spike.
Okay.
And then what that'll do is it'll pop the fuse, which these are not a time delay. These are just instant.
So they'll pop.
Yeah.
So this was good in a way. I mean, obviously we didn't go cut the lawn, but it's better to be safe. It's better to blow a fuse than it is to break something. So
absolutely.
If we weren't expecting to get over 15 amps, which we were kind of expecting to have happen, but we wanted to be safe. If we had, for instance, some wires in here that wouldn't be able to handle 15 amps, that could lead to some dangerous situations where we're heating up wire and doing all sorts of dangerous stuff, which would be much worse if this was on fire than if we'd just blown a fuse. That was the weakest link. Goodbye. So we've replaced the 15 amp fuse with the 20 amp fuse. We're going to be stepping our way up to see what we need in there. We shouldn't be going too far above 20, I don't think. Worst case, we can put a 40 amp in here, but I don't think we're going to be drawing 40 amps for very long.
Right.
All right, so let's hit it. So we're all plugged in. Now, should I tip it back?
Just tip it back to spin it up a little bit.
Okay. Cut again.
Really?
Yep. All right, so 20 amp, too little. Let's move on to 30. All right, so this is test number 3 with a 30 amp fuse. There you go.
Okay. Wow, look at this. Okay, let's see.
Go check the amps.
All right. So we're at 14 amps.
How many?
14 and a half at 46.6. Let's drop the blade down. Oh, and it stops.
It stops right on a dime.
So we're up at 14. That makes sense why we at a constant 14. That's why I'm sure just a little more and we popped it.
I'm really excited about this because a lot of people say that, oh, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That can't be done.
Right.
And yet here we are doing it.
Yeah, and even when it got bogged down, the amps went up to, what did you see, about 23?
About 23, 24, which is pretty high.
Yeah. Can I try it?
Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay. I feel like my mom's watching me. Can you just say you missed a spot and I'll feel better? I'm sorry, what, Ma? What?
Oh my God.
Dead man switch!
Oh man, you're covered in leaves. You're walking home.
That's good.
All right, so we are 10 minutes into mowing. We're at 44 volts. So that's dropped down from what, 54.
Yeah.
And our amps are looking around 15 when we're just idling.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Right, and spiking up to about 20 when we're going.
Okay.
So we're at 10 minutes. Let's see if we can get some more time out of this.
Yeah.
No! Okay. Okay. Oh yeah! Whoa. So there's a slow recovery, but it mulched it. I mean, that is like, that's like a smoothie version of
of leaves.
Of leaves, yeah.
It's the rocks.
Yeah, we're not doing rocks.
Should we hit the front yard?
Oh, I gotta sit up.
It's definitely not my best mowing job, but we definitely hit a lot.
Dude, you did the whole property, Jesse.
I mean, we got basically all the way over there.
That whole area.
We did pretty much everything here. And just in case you didn't believe that this actually cut grass, come here. come here. Look at this. That is cut grass.
We cut grass, but did we actually accomplish our goals? Find out next time on Now You Know.